Right, howdy folks, how are we doing? Now we've had the new disco now for a couple of months, so it's about time we had a look at it and see what it's made of. So first things first, let's see what's under here, shall we? Right, now unlike a lot of other cars, the disco, or indeed the whole Land Rover family, for a long time have had clamshell type bonnets. What I mean by that is the bonnet is the full width of the vehicle and sits on top of the wings rather than having the wings come up and then the bonnet's in the middle. So anyway, let's pop her up. This bonnet actually hooks in two positions as well, so it's held down well because it's so wide. But anyway, here's the engine of what you can see. You can't really see an engine there, can you? It's all plastic. But anyway, let's fire it up and see what she sounds like. Right, now as you can hear, it's a lovely, sweet, smooth engine. It's a Jaguar Land Rover 3 litre twin turbo 255 horsepower V6 with about 440 foot-pounds of torque, which is about 600 newton meters. So it's a lovely, silky smooth engine. So you can now just see a bit of engine under all them pipes and wires. But there isn't a lot of room to work in there, there really isn't. Anyway, let's get this bonnet shut and get it on the road. Well, as some of you will know, one of the main reasons for me getting one of these was based on the fact that I'm not entirely convinced about the Discovery 5. And Land Rover bringing out the Defender, which I have seen the glimpse shots of, and it looks good. It looks like one of these, to be fair, a nice boxy shape. So I've got a lot of hopes pinned on that. So this is like a stopgap for me until I can have a look at one of them, which I'm really looking forward to. I think they'll be 2020, so another year and a half, something like that, before we can get to see one of them. But really looking forward to it. But anyway, let's get back to Discovery 4. Now this is the slightly revamped version to my old one, which was a template. This being a 14. So you've got slightly revised headlights on it. The dash console here is slightly revised, i.e. instead of the big old clunky sort of gear stick, really, it's still an automatic. This has got a rotary dial, which does exactly the same job and is a lot cleaner. So that is basically the only real difference in here, really. The screen is updated as well. There's more. It's more of a updated screen, if you know what I mean. More modern, and it's a bit more intuitive. And there's more information on it as well now, which is handy. But some of the other main differences, or one of the other big differences, is in the gearbox. Whereas the old one was a six-speed auto, you've now got an 8-speed auto, which is still not perfect by any means, and it can still. It's one example is when you're going along 50 miles an hour and you're trying to pull away, just increase speed a bit. It's very hard to do it without it down changing. So you have to be really gentle on the accelerator, or otherwise you've got to down change. It doesn't need to down change, but it down changes. Which is a pain. You've got no end of torque, no end of power there for it to pull low down in a gear, but it doesn't like to do that. It will down change and then go. Now, one thing discos are good at is off-road. Obviously, that's their natural territory. And I'll just give you a little demonstration now. We'll put a wheel up there, and you can see. If I just bring the camera around now, you'll just see the travel, the wheel travel we've got there. Now I can actually, as well, if I press the button in the cab, and you'll see I should get even more travel there. You see the distance between the front wheel and the arch increasing, because of course air suspension does give you that possibility. So now we're going to drop over that, You do get fantastic, of course, full drive capability with a Disco, as well as impeccable on-road manners. So I'm just going to creep down here, and you can see Discovery takes it in a stride. She does. This was a muck heap, so it's ever so rutted. You wouldn't want to do this in too many other vehicles. The thing with Disco as well is you do have all these different off-road programs, and I'm not in any of them at the minute. I'm just in standard on-road four-wheel drive mode. You do get like mud and ruts, sand, ice, all these different programs you can put it in, but you still don't need that. The other thing with Discovery 4, of course, is if I press that button there, I've got to put in neutral for that. Press that button there. Yeah, I am in neutral. There you go. I'm in low range now. It just gives you a bit more control and a bit slower. It also does show the angle of your front wheels as well. Obviously, when you're in low range, you're in sort of difficult conditions, slippy conditions, and it just lets you know where your wheels are, because sometimes you don't know, you're slipping and sliding around. That just goes to show you the capabilities of Disco. There she goes, she's over. Just like that. And pull up. Select neutral. Back into high range. Back into drive. And we're away. Simple as that. And that's what Discovery 4 does. It can go from a rutted, muddy track to a motorway, just like that. And it can do both comfortably as well. Now, one of the other things about the Disco 4, why it's such a good tow vehicle as well, is because its weight. It weighs roughly about 2.2 tonne. So it's a big old lump for anything on the back to move about. I.e., the more weight you've got as your tow vehicle, the less susceptible it is to being moved about by what you're towing. So basically, the heavier the tow vehicle, the better it is it tows. But of course, with weight comes you need power to move that weight, which is why the Disco has got the 3 litre V6 with 255 horsepower. Now we'll just give a little quick demonstration of what this means when you put your foot down. So you ready for this? Let's go. There you go, 60. She really pins you back in her seat. For a big four-wheel drive, she gets a shift on. She really does. And that's what makes it so easy to drive. You've got so much power there that driving, even in mountainous condition, in areas like, we've been to the Lake District in it, and there's some blooming good hills there, some sort of 25% gradients, and she walks up there, runs up there, she does. So no, she's not lacking in power, but with power also comes a price in fuel, and the price in fuel equates to, well, on this vehicle, it equates to an average of, she's 28.2 miles per gallon fuel usage, which is not bad, because like I say, a 250 horsepower four-wheel drive vehicle that weighs 2.2 tonnes, that's not a bad NPG by any means. Oh, I'll just quickly go over the controls. This is obviously what I was on about earlier. This is the new rotary dial for the transmission, for the 8-speed transmission. So you've simply got reverse, neutral, drive and a sport mode. So we'll stick her in drive, fully automatic. It's worth noting that in the UK you can only get the auto gearbox and the diesel engine on at least the 7-seat versions. I'm not 100% sure about the commercials whether they have a manual gearbox option, but at least for the 7-seat versions like this, it's a 3-litre V6 and the 8-speed transmission. Now, as a bonus to the drive, obviously, like I said, you've got the sport. You have to push it down and turn it a bit more. All that does is it frees up the transmission to rev right to the max, right to the rev limiter before it changes gear, which is, you really don't need to use it, not unless you're going to drive like an idiot, to be fair. So put that back into drive. You do, however, on this one have paddle shifts on it, like your Ferrari. So if I want, I can click the paddle for the up, and that displays on my dash in front of me here. I'm in gear 2. Click it again, D3. There you go. In D3, it automatically down changes for you. So if I let off, I'm not going to touch. When it gets to like 1,000 revs, it's changed down to D2. So it automatically down changes for you, but it won't up change. Now that is useful for like when you're going to tow a trailer up a hill. Sometimes you don't want it to keep searching a gear, so you can just hold it in a gear and keep your power for going up a hill. But it is quite good having it on the paddles here. Not that I ever use it, although I did used to enjoy having it on the older Disco 4. You had it on the gear stick, on the sort of the gear stick in a big knob, and you can chunk it forward for up and down and back for down. So I do sort of miss that. That's your infotainment system. Like I say, that's the home menu at the minute. It's all touchscreen, so you can choose phone if you want, like that, or satellite navigation. Interestingly, there is on-road and off-road satellite navigation, so you can use it off-road as well. If you're going to go, I don't know, across the Sahara Desert in one, you can plot your way across. Then you've got the audio and video. So that's about that. This bit down here is your train response. Now that's standard driving. Then you've got your snow and ice, you've got your mud and ruts, you've got your sand, and then you've got your rock. So all you've got to do is click it over, and then it will come up on here telling you what program you selected. So we put back in there. That one there, that is your high and low range, like we demonstrated earlier. This one here, that's your ride height even. Spit it out, George. So at the minute we're still in the off-road mode. That will click out at, I think, 20-30 miles an hour. It'll automatically go down to this mode, which is your normal ride height for going down the road. And that's about it, really. You've got your steering wheel controls here, cruise control. You've got controls for your stereo there. You've got menu controls for your dash on the binnacle, and you've got your phone controls. And that is really sort of it. But as you can see, full leather interior. It's a lovely place to be. So I just think these are really, really good. They're just a mega truck, to be fair. They do everything you could possibly want with them, on road, off road, in lovely comfort in both. You can also, of course, tow 3.5 ton. The rear seats fold flat out into the floor, so you can have a cavernous low bay in the back. Really are a jack of all trades. And of course, like I say, 7 seats as well, and proper 7 seats as well. They are proper seats when you lift them up out the floor. It just ticks all the boxes, really. I mean, a lot of people will say, well, why don't you get a Range Rover? But Range Rover, they're not as versatile as one of these. I'm looking forward to the new Defender coming out. Can't wait to try one of them. But for now, I think we'll just have a quick look around the outside of the truck. Right, a point worth noting is I'm running this one on Goodyear Wrangler Dura track tyres. They're a 255 55/19 tyre, and you can see they're a very much an AT tread. Now I have run them before. My old one, that was on Pirelli P0s, which were standard fit for the Discovery 4, and I had, I think, 3 sets on it. I didn't think they were that great a tyre. They got punches easy, weren't great off-road, but they were quite on-road. And that is always my worry about getting a set of ATs. Will you just hear that drone all the time going down the motorway? Well, actually no. Right, so to finish up then, I suppose all there is to say is, if you're in the market for a used sort of 7-seat 4-wheel drive, you really got to consider the Disco 4. They really are a jack of all trades, but a master of all trades as well, I would say. So yeah, job's a good one. Hope you enjoyed that quick vid, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ta!